Grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look.
For the third time in my NBA broadcasting career, I have the opportunity to say the Suns are going to the NBA Finals.
Kane on the drive, beautiful feet again. Ayton with the slam. To the hole, scoops it home. A shot blocked, knocked out of bounds. Mikal Bridges from downtown. Three-pointer, hits out. Devin Booker on fire. Hold on for Craig. Dropping the sledgehammer. Chris Paul dominating right now. It's good. Devin Booker drills it.
This is not our journey. Our journey is to bring that Larry O'Brien back to Phoenix.
Fires, three-pointer. The Suns have blown it open.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. My name is Dexter, your host, the one and only. Welcome back to another show. So February, it's Black History Month. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in this month for sure. And I hope you're all enjoying the NBA like I mentioned before. There's a lot of stuff to pack into this whole entire episode, so hopefully we just get straight into it. But before we do, I'm going to give a shout out to all the players that made the NBA All-Star this year. Some are the first-timers, some are undrafted, and still made the All-Star, which is crazy. The last time that happened was Ben Wallace for the Detroit Pistons, and he was an undrafted player, and look what happened to his career. So, yes, you can still find gems that don't get drafted. So that's been proven in the NBA over years, right? I mean, obviously every single draft pick is worthy, but there's still some players out there that don't really get drafted and still get looked at, and you never know. So NBA All-Star is coming around the corner. We have all the players that have been selected so far. So Team LeBron versus Team KD, and KD ain't playing. So we'll see who's going to be that captain or that team that's going to represent the East. And I know there's a lot of snubs. Some players got snubbed. It is what it is, but let's go ahead and dive into the episode because we got stuff to unpack in this episode. It's going to be kind of crazy. So hopefully y'all stay tuned, kick it with us for the next 20 minutes. And I'll explain to you about this disrespect that's going on in NBA to this one particular team. Before we kind of get into that, and if you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell notification right there. Thumbs up if you can. Because that helps us out a lot in the algorithm with the YouTube. It'll push our content to the top. We're on every single streaming platform out there as far as audio. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Podcast Bean. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on everywhere. SoundCloud, you name it. Anything that has to do with audio, we are there. So you can catch us in the audio if you can't catch us on YouTube or IGTV. And all the socials, I'm on there as well. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, TikTok. We're all on there as well. So hopefully you can catch me in there. If you want to have a debate, if you have any questions, you have any comments, you can catch me on those platforms, or you can comment on this bottom of this video as well. All the links will be on the bottom of the video. So let's just go ahead and dive into it because obviously, like I said, there's a lot to unpack in this whole entire episode. And we're going to be talking specifically about the Phoenix Suns. Yes. The Phoenix Suns, right? What's the whole entire thing? But yeah, the Phoenix Suns, right? The desert, if you want to call them the valley, etc., right? Like I used to live in AZ for a while. It's a great place, a very, very great place for basketball. So those fans deserve to be in the breath of other elite teams. Like obviously the Lakers fan base is kind of crazy, but you have the Warrior fan base, you have the Bulls fan base, you have the Miami fan base, you have what team am I missing in the East Coast? The Brooklyn Nets, which is kind of like mediocre because they're not really true fans. They're fans of the game, but I'm not here to knock you guys, right? So Obviously, look, I got my towel from the NBA All-Star. I mean, not NBA All-Star. The NBA Finals last year that I attended. That thing was I believe it was game 5 or was it game 4? I forgot what it was, but I think it was game 5. It was game 5. Yes. So got my little, lousy towel, whatever you want to call this thing, waving around. But yeah, going forward, let's just kind of stay focused, right? Anyways, so the Phoenix Suns, right? The number one team in the land, number one team in the NBA. By far the best team in the NBA, right? Obviously, we had the Warriors and we had the Suns jockeying for the first spot, for the whole entire league. It was back and forth. And now you have finally the Suns created somewhat of a gap between, 3 games or 2 games right now. They're ahead of the Warriors only because the Warriors they went through a slump, right? They brought back Klay Thompson. That kind of threw a wrench into their whole chemistry. Now they're kind of picking up where they left off at. The Phoenix Suns, players are missing, don't matter. That engine is still going. But why they're not getting the same praises as other teams like the Nets and the Warriors? And we get the Warriors. Like, they have the ultimate respect because they have been there and they have done it. And by far, they're up there number 1 and 2 in the whole entire NBA. By far, they're the best team. No diss to the Phoenix Suns. No diss to the Nets, right? But the Phoenix Suns are saying, hey, we're not talking about the Golden State Warriors. We're talking about the other team in the East, the Brooklyn Nets. Like, how are they getting more recognition than us? And I'll go ahead and explain that to you guys as we continue this whole episode because, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to the fan base in the Phoenix metro area, the state of Arizona, the 602, the 623, the 480. You even have fans in the 510, which is in Tucson. And you have fans in Flagstaff. So, I mean, the Phoenix Suns is the whole state of Arizona. And if you're from that area, you're representing the Phoenix Suns, right? So right now, they're currently, 43-10. Obviously, this is the best start in their franchise history. Like, no knock to Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson, but this team is way better than what you guys had back then. And obviously, you had an MVP year, Charles Barkley, and I give you that. But this team is built different. It fits his era. Charles Barkley's team, even though you had shooters around you, Charles Barkley wasn't a impactful player. People can argue, yes, he was. And I'm not going to say that he's not. But we've seen what happened in the NBA Finals when it came down to Charles Barkley. No diss to Chuck, man. I'm just saying, he was an undersized power forward that wasn't really shooting great out there, but your game was inside. But I'm not going to keep going on about that. All right, so anyways, the Caesar Books odds, to win the championship this year, they have Nets. I'm sorry, they have the Nets, Warriors, and Phoenix Suns, which is kind of disrespect. They're basically saying in that order. Nets have the chance of winning. They have the highest odds of winning. Second is the Golden State Warriors in the Bay Area, and then those boys in the Valley as far as the Phoenix Suns, right? But we're talking about a team who went to the NBA Finals last year. They went to the NBA Finals last year. All I kept hearing was the disrespect, the slander, like no props was given to Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Monty Williams, who's the coach of the team, right? James Jones, who's the exec of the team, right? DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Cameron Payne. I can go on. Nader, I can go on. They don't get the same respect, the same kudos. I don't care what you say. You want to talk about players got injured last year in the playoffs? What's that got to do with the Phoenix Suns? It's not the Phoenix Suns' fault that AD got hurt in the first round. It's not the Phoenix Suns' fault that Jamal Murray was hurt with a torn ACL in the second round against the Phoenix Suns. It wasn't the Clippers' fault. It's not the Suns' fault that the Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard, but they still have Paul George. And they still have Reggie Jackson, and it's still a full set of team that obviously went down to 6 games. It's not their fault. And yeah, they went to the NBA Finals. Yeah, they got exposed by Giannis, which I made a note about that. But that doesn't mean that because they got here was because it's just a fluke, or it's because of ifs, or it's because of, this person got hurt and that person got hurt. That is not the Phoenix Suns' fault. This happens every year. Players do get hurt in the playoffs. It happens. Okay? And you can't take away that. And then you see how they're doing this year with the Phoenix Suns? They're blitzing everybody who gave them that pet talk saying, yeah, you got lucky last year. Oh, yeah, really? We're going to just run through the tape. And that's what they've been doing. They've been blitzing everybody in this league. They have the most games won, more than double digits in this entire season than any other team. They beat you more than by 10 points. It happens to a lot of teams. So, yeah, respect is deserved for the boys in the Valley, right? So is this disrespect? Or is this just much respect to the Warriors and the Nets? I'll let you guys have at it, so hit me in the comments below. But obviously the Suns, they improved in all facets, right? Like, they improved as far as chemistry. They improved in player growth as far as Mikal Bridges and Cam Payne and Cam Johnson. They improved in signings as far as, obviously we seen DeAndre Ayton last year in the NBA Finals getting exposed by Giannis. Was in foul trouble from game 2 to game 6. I think he fouled out 3 or 4 games. And they didn't have no big. And Serge had a torn ACL. So they had nobody, literally. And Jay Carter was an answer for Giannis. So now you have picked up JaVale McGee, who has been an excellent backup, who the Lakers decided to go with Dwight Howard over JaVale McGee. Let that sink in for a second. Let's go back to what I was saying. So they got JaVale McGee, right? Played terrific off the bench as far as the second unit, as far as the backup center. As far as when DeAndre Ayton missed games, JaVale was the plug-in guy. Then they picked up who later in the season? Bismack Biyombo, who's been playing great. Looks like an all-star in like less than a month. Guys giving you more than 10 points as far as averaging and almost double digits in rebounds, right? You traded for Landry Shamet from the Brooklyn Nets. You bolster your offense on the bench, right? Added more depth in shooting. You telling me right now this is not the team that should be reckoned with? Am I seeing something different through the optics? Am I seeing something completely different through the lens? If I am, just let me know. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm not a Phoenix Suns fan. I am not. Never rooted for them once. Right? But I love basketball and I love the NBA. And when a team's up there and there is a gap between them and the rest, like how Moses split the sea in the Red Sea, yeah, that's a difference. Yeah, I'm going to give you props. I'm going to speak about you for sure. So they deserve it, is what I'm saying. Chris Paul, obviously having a hell of a year. Devin Booker improved, right? He's averaging 25, 26 points a game. Mikal Bridges, obviously talked about he should be first team all defense this year, hands down. Like no hezzy. Like dude is a two-way player, and he's solidified. And if you want to argue about that, run the tapes. Run the stats. Look at what I'm saying. I'm not here to spitball you guys and waste your time, right? But going forward, right? So the Phoenix Suns are top 3 in both offense and defensive efficiency rating, or efficiency net rating. So basically, they're 3rd in the league in offense, right? And obviously, I think they're number 1 and number 2, and they're jockeying with the Warriors, and they kept going back and forth. But right now, they're 3rd, and they're 2nd in defense. That means they're not letting you score a lot, right? I think they're like 5th they're 3rd in the league as far as shutting down offenses as far as compared to NBA teams. What I mean by that is, like, for example, they're 3rd in the league, and then opponents average against them is 105 points. That means you're not scoring more than 105 points against the Suns, right? And obviously in this day and age, that's actually pretty good. Like usually, like back in the 10, 15 years ago, teams were averaging like 98 points, 97 points. Like the Spurs were shutting people down to like 95 points and 92 points. That's a whole different era because they didn't shoot as much, right? They didn't blitz you in the fast break as much, right? It wasn't like a free all-girl green light, no motion. I mean, all motion offense. Like they were kept running in this day and age. Back then, it was more about slow motion, half court setup, run through your flares and your flex screens and your pin downs. It's different now. It's catch and shoot, jack it up, run again, go. So obviously 105 points, it might seem a lot to you guys, but it's 3rd best in the league as far as shut down, as far as opponents. All right. So the Suns, who average about 113 points a game, like I said, they're 3rd in the NBA as far as best offense, right? And this is the craziest thing that I have seen so far, right? This is the most craziest thing. All right, I haven't seen this in a while. Like I even tried to look in the last year or 2 or 3 in the last previous years. I haven't seen a team that had literally 8 or 9 players who averaged double figures in points. They have literally 8 guys, 9 on the brink of it. 9 is like the 9th guy is very close. Like you said, 9.7. But outside of that, you have 8 guys who average minimum 10 points or more. That just tells you the depth the Phoenix Suns have in the desert. Like they literally go 10 guys, 11 guys deep. And they're not shy from it. And the reason why I like it is because Monty Williams is smart. He's literally not trying to run his guys through the ground. He's literally giving guys their fair share at contributing to the team. And if you're not, obviously you're gonna be sitting on the bench. We all know Cameron Payne's storied history as far as moving around from team to team and stuff like that. And the Bulls cut him and said you wasn't good enough. And then James Jones, who was the GM of the Phoenix Suns, gave him a shot. And you see what happened last year. He was giving people the business. Everybody's like, what? Where did this dude come from? Then the Phoenix Suns gave him a contract this past summer. After the NBA Finals, like, yeah, bro, you deserve it. So you have Cameron Payne, who thinks he is the starter when he comes on the court. When he comes on the court with so much swagger, so much influence. Like, he does strike fear to a slight degree. Because the dude is quick, can shoot, right, and can pass the ball. So, like, you're going to have to respect that. Obviously, he's going to be the guy that's going to make a difference as far as winning your games. But change of pace compared to Chris Paul and him, it's night and day. Chris Paul's more about, I'm going to get you guys in your spots. Cameron Payne, he causes chaos and havoc. Like, he having defense running around like with the heads cut off. That's his kind of game, right? Erratic, heavy going back and forth, right? Brings energy. That's his game, right? But going forward, right? So you have Cameron Payne. Cameron Johnson, we all know what he does. He's a shooter, right? Then you have on the bench JaVale McGee. Then you add Bismack, right? Then you have Landry Shamet, right? You can go on. They have a great chemistry of players. It all starts at Monty Williams. So Monty Williams deserves all the credit. Every single credit he deserves is the success is because of Monty Williams. And obviously it starts from the top with James Jones. Hell of a GM. Obviously we all know the story about James Jones. Played in Miami with LeBron James. Played in Cleveland. Won multiple championships on both sides of on the East Coast. Very dear friend of LeBron James. And he deserves every single success that he gets in Arizona as far as the GM. Going forward, right? So, like I said, they traded, Landry Shamet to bolster the bench, right? That's a great addition, right? But if you guys want to sit here and argue about arguably the best backcourt in the league right now, you could argue it's the Phoenix Suns, right? With Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Obviously, we know Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, when Klay's fully healthy, the Splash Brothers, ain't no one picking them over. I remember John Wall was delusional. He was tripping. He really thought that him and Bradley Beal was the best backcourt in the NBA. I'm like, bro, what are you smoking? What are you smoking? You really think John Wall and Bradley Beal, I'm speaking to you, John Wall, you really think you and Bradley Beal is better than the Splash Bros in Oakland at that time? Even right now, if you guys were still a team? No, you're not. But going forward, like I said, I don't want to kind of go off. I don't want to derail this whole Phoenix thing. Let's just keep it going. Anyways, so with the backcourt in Phoenix, you can't, it's arguable that Devin Booker and Chris Paul is the best backcourt right now as we speak. It's not Steph Curry and Jordan Poole, right? Like, it wasn't that wasn't in the discussion. But now Klay coming back, I mean, it's debatable. I'll leave a door open, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? But if Klay's back to being Klay Thompson, yeah, ain't no one better than those two guys, those two light-skinned devils in the Bay Area. So going for, like I said, got to give props, man. To Mikal Bridges, two-way player. He had a hell of a year last year, and then he obviously expanded his game this year. Two-way player, came out of Villanova. Dude's a hell of a hooper. Great pick by the Phoenix Suns in the draft. I'm telling you right now, Mikal Bridges is a two-way player. I'm telling you right now, Mikal Bridges is a two-way player. So if you don't know basketball, you just see the highlights on YouTube and ESPN, Mikal Bridges can lock you up and hit you with threes. And could dunk on your face. So give him his respect. Also, the Phoenix Suns, right, when it comes to clutch time points, clutch time points or clutch time moments, meaning less than 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, and the game is close. They're at 20-3. That's why they're great. That's why they're good. It's because when it comes down to it, when the pressure is on, and we're trying to see what you're made of. We paying you money right now, right? They show up. And it's because of Chris Paul, right? He's the best closer this year in the NBA, hands down. In clutch moments, when it comes to assist, he leads it. Oh, matter of fact, Chris Paul leads the league in assist. So that just tells you right there. Chris Paul is the orchestrator. He is the foundation. He is the levee. Like how far he goes is how far the Phoenix Suns goes. And as far as how's he playing right now, yeah, it's all because of him and Devin Booker to a slight degree. No disrespect to Devin Booker, but Chris Paul is making things happen. Clutch time moments, 20-3 so far. All right, so let me preach. So I'm telling you right now, this is here to stay. They should get their damn respect. For real. I don't know why they're not getting no love. I still don't get it. All I see on all these talking heads on TV, and I'm not going to say their names, all they do is talk about LeBron James and the Lakers. They're trash. The Lakers not even a top 10 seed in the West. So what they being talked about? They lost to the Clippers, to Reggie Jackson, who hit him with the game later. They at the last second kind of gave him an inside hezzy and went for a layup. Anthony Davis ain't who Anthony Davis really should be, right? But I'm not here to talk about them. But that's what they talk about. They talk about AD and LeBron James like it's a new religion. And they're not getting teams like the Warriors or the Sixers or the Heat or the Phoenix Suns their respect. They keep talking about the same old story. And I like LeBron, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to hear about LeBron every single day. And LeBron's not playing. But anyways, going forward, Monty Williams is a hell of a coach. He brought the culture to Phoenix. The reason why they're this good as far as collectively is because of Monty Williams. Don't get me wrong. He ain't on the court. So on the court, Chris Paul, clutch moments, when the game's in the line, best closer in the league. But he is only there because of Monty Williams got him there. So it starts from Monty Williams with the culture, the attitude, everything, the winning mindset. Tip my hat off to Monty. We know Monte's history. He lost his wife and a couple of his kids in a tragic accident when he was an assistant coach, I believe, in OKC. And it's tough, man, what that guy went through. You got to have a lot of endurance and faith to continue doing what you're doing in life as far as the passion in sports and his coaching, because I can't imagine losing my family and then try to be sane at the same moment, the next day, the month, whatever it might be. I might go crazy. Who knows? But going forward, yeah. So also, no disrespect to, to not Steph Curry, but to Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Like, what do you really expect? Like we all know 50%, and I'm talking about the NBA All-Star votes, right? 50% of, if you're a starter, 50% of your votes comes from fans. And Steph Curry has by far more fans than Devin Booker. Steph Curry has more fans than Chris Paul. Steph Curry has more fans than both of them combined. Like, it's not, I mean, if you look at the numbers, like, we're not illiterate. Like, if you look at China, it's all Steph Curry fans. Yeah, you might have pockets of Devin Bookers and whatever else. It's all Steph Curry, man. Really, it is. It's all of them. So, you're not going to start the backcourt over Steph Curry only if John Morant didn't have a good year, which he did. Third best team in the NBA. Third best team in the West. And John Morant is having the same kind of hype, same kind of feel Derrick Rose did in his MVP year. So obviously, you're going to go with a guy who's giving you highlights every single night. Right? So obviously, no disrespect to Devin Booker. You deserve to be an all-star. Matter of fact, you deserve to be a starter, to be honest. But obviously, we all know the whole thing about what's his name? Wiggins getting in and stuff like that. Paul George ain't playing. AD ain't playing. And Kawhi ain't playing. And respectfully, all three of those guys should not play because of injuries and whatever it may be. And AD's not even having a good year anyways. So, yeah, and that's that, basically. So I hope they get their respect. And Monty Williams is going to be the head coach for the All-Star for the West. So, yes, man, kudos to that, man. We appreciate it, for real. Like, he deserves every single praise for that. And I hope you guys understand this is a long time coming. I've been trying to say this since the beginning of the year. They had a 1,400, I think it was plus 1,400 to odds to win the championship. Like, that's disrespect, man. They just came out the NBA Finals, and they kind of just like oversaw it. Hey, you know what? Well, they got lucky. Well, we'll see this year. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the only team that's standing in front of the Phoenix Suns is the Golden State Warriors, and vice versa. The Golden State Warriors, for them to get to the promised land, the only team that's in their way is the Phoenix Suns. So it goes both ways. And I hope it's them two in the Western Conference Final. I don't see nobody else. I don't like no diss to John Moran, Memphis, no diss to the Nuggets or Utah Jazz or whoever else. But if you talking about a heavyweight slugfest, oh my God. Yeah, we want to see Steph Curry versus Chris Paul. We want to see Klay Thompson versus Devin Booker. We want to see Andrew Wiggins against Mikal Bridges, who's a lockdown defender. We want to see Draymond Green and Jay Crowder go at it. Like, they both have antics on the court, right? Then we want to see Kevin Looney or James Wiseman versus DeAndre Ayton. So yeah, man, that's what I want to see. Man, I'm praying to the basketball gods up there. Please, man, let this game come to fruition, so then we can have our, we can talk our trash after that. If the Phoenix Suns do make it, they earn a damn respect. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if they go into the NBA Finals, either is one of these teams. I'm telling you right now as we speak, it don't matter if it's Milwaukee, it don't matter if it's the Brooklyn Nets. We know Kyrie's situation. The Warriors or the Suns gonna win that. And I'll go ahead and break this stuff down to you. Y'all think I'm jumping the gun? Kind of jumping the gun though, a little low key. But obviously elements will change, so we'll see, man. But hey, I hope y'all staying safe out there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead, man, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get the alerts to your cell phone or your laptop. At the same time, thumbs up if you can. It'll help us out. If you want to leave comments, go ahead, man. I do vibe back. For real. I really do. So until then, y'all stay safe. Like I said, COVID ain't no joke, man. It's kind of dying down right now. But, hey, man, it's still serious out there. Be safe, man. Stay tuned. Next episode. Peace.